The Voiceover Doctor presents Margaritas, Mojitos and Microphones. Viva el Voiceover Doctor.
How are you, Howard? This is voiceover. I'm doing voiceover teaching. Okay, bye.
Hello? Butic service? Don't make me say please.
That's it. Except physically play the character the voice will follow. If you conduct each idea, it translates verbally. So on hello, here's what's happening in the animation. He's laying the face down. You see his little fingers going, hello. But, so act that whole thing out.
Hello?
Well, no, twinkly fingers.
Hello?
Say, hear the performance change? Hear the on the hello. If you physically play the character, the voice will follow, guys. With every idea, with every adjustment, if you change what you're doing with your body, a gesture, a facial expression, a hand gesture, it translates into verbal. So do that again. That was brilliant. Even more, have more. He's a little bit more dainty.
Hello? Butic service?
Point to the butt top.
Hello? Butic service? Don't make me say please.
Brilliant.
Don't worry about the voice. Don't worry about sounding like a dog. Okay. Hi, I'm Scooter. Okay. You know, don't worry about all that stuff. Yep. Just be Jason reacting to things and just see what happens. Okay. Okay, and go.
Hi, I'm Scooter. I'm a Jack Russell Terrier. It's like I can't help being like this.
When you became just Jason as the dog, I was fine with that.
Okay.
So don't worry so much about being this little dog.
Okay.
Because commercial-wise, we've already called you in because we feel that you sound like the dog already.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So unless they're saying change your voice to be a little tiny dog, again, it's kind of you got to figure it out once you get in there. Okay. But for the sake of a class here tonight, I'm more interested in what you're doing acting-wise than what you're doing voice-wise.
Ruff Lump! They're out again! Oops!
No, I don't believe you. Here's why. I need you to act it out. Put him up, see them, take it down, and then see him.
Okay.
Acting is reacting. Hey guys, here's the biggest mistake people make with animation. They're not reacting.
It doesn't really matter how fast you're going. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get you out of your head because, again, you had a very nice rehearsed thing, okay? And I'm losing some of the spontaneity of that first read. And what I'm looking for as a director, I'm trying to get you more into a spontaneous, reactive type of a thing. So see the pictures and react to the pictures again as fast as you can, okay? And go!
Who is Sweetie?
Sweetie is my
Paul
partner.
is winded. Can you hear it? This is just one line of the audition. It's a 4-hour session.
You can't do this! Get me down!
Outstanding. So, if you guys were to listen to his first take from all these things, it's I'm trying something to I'm making solid choices. Even though I was feeding you these choices, you need to do that yourself. That's how you know you're ready to get the agent and pursue this as a career. These are choices that there's so many you don't know which one to choose. But they have got to be that specific. Is any of the information I mentioned on the script? No. You got to make it up.
So, you guys were engrossed in a conversation in your room. Did it end, or do we have some questions for anyone here? If we don't have questions... Oh, yes, there we go, Dana.
Most of the time, is the animation done after you read? Do they record the voices and then do the animation?
Yes.
So,
Unless it's anime, or you're doing ADR for a job you've already done.
Okay.
Do you guys know what ADR is?
Yeah.
Anybody not?
Automatic dialogue replacement?
Automated.
Automated.
Yeah, it's not automatic. It doesn't just happen.
It's like, look at that, there it is!
Yeah. So
I just lost my job.
when you do a cartoon, whether it's TV or film, there's going to be some sweetening at the end. They might have rewritten a line. They might have changed something in the script, and you go in and they don't want to spend the money to reanimate, so you dub it while watching it. But it's just segments of it. But for the most part, you do the voices first. So you're not worried about matching sync or any kind of time. Yeah.
You said anime, so was anime done first before voices?
Anime is dubbing. It's Japanese animation. It's already been animated because it was done in Japan first.
Okay.
So they changed the dialogue to English,
And it's so funny because you'll have like a lip flap like this, and the line you have to say is, "Excuse me, but can you get the name of the girl down the street because she's really hot?" And this. And then you'll see the mouth do this, and the translation is what?
So you gotta kind of stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah.
I actually did a game one time, and they gave me the Japanese line in my head.
Yeah.
And it totally threw me off. It really threw me off because they wanted it to come in at a certain time, and I started hearing this Japanese, and I don't do a lot of games, so it threw me off. And I just said, "What the hell is that?" And they go, "Oh, that's the line. So you get the timing." I'm like, "Look, I get the timing right here.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of my head."
Yeah, that's a distraction.
It really is, because I found myself wanting to do the Japanese interpretation, because that's what it was, and it was a tender line. So,
Your actor interpretation might be, "Oh, honey, what?" And you hear,
exactly.
Yeah, that's not gonna get a warm fuzzy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it throws you off sometimes. What else? Yes.
Would you say that most auditions nowadays for animation, even commercial, are done at home, initial audition?
Your first round.
Your first round at home.
Or your agent's office, but more often than not, it's going to be your first round will be. It's just save money. It sucks. Even the casting directors hate it.
Oh, really?
No, they hate it. They want they want to work with you.
Okay.
They want to meet you. And one of the reasons why it's so hard to get in is because they're not going to take a chance on somebody they don't know. Those of you who are ready for this, I mean, when I say ready, I mean really ready. I highly recommend doing things like Hope Levy's workshops or Mary Lynn Wisner's workshops, where you get to meet the buyers, the casting directors, the agents, but not until you're ready, because if you're not ready, you've just blown a relationship for the rest of your life. You've got to curl their toes. And the people who are brilliant get representation, multiple offers. They get work all the time. It's the people that aren't brilliant who have just shut the door with that person. They shouldn't be there. Don't put yourself on the line until you're ready. But when you're ready, my God, it's a wonderful way to get.
It really is. And again, if you don't feel that you're ready, then keep doing stuff like this. Keep doing stuff where you can get ready. You can get the advice that you need, or get into a really good voiceover acting class that you're repetitive and it's muscle memory and you're doing it. Again, what I'm always telling you guys is, be comfortable. Make choices that make you feel comfortable. Because when you go into an audition and you walk out feeling like, well, what the hell? Sure, why not? Then chances are you're leaving there having done a good audition.
Right.
But again, if you're walking out going, "Oh, Jesus Christ, what was I thinking?" You probably didn't do quite so good.
I also think that you don't want your auditions to be your workout. So, if you're at the point where, I've done the classes, I got the demo, do a once-a-week workout group. Just so you've got that machine well-oiled and ready to go. So when you have that audition, you're not going, "Damn, I haven't done this in a while." Just, God, the top Broadway actors work with coaches during the day singing and dance classes before they go on stage that night. For some reason, a scale plus 10 voice actor thinks they're beyond it, and they're not. I work out with coaches all the time, especially my promo coaches, because I want to stay up to date on the styles, the change. It might be a network that I've never worked for. My coach is like, I've done research on this network. Even though it says energetic, give it a little bit more of a blasé. I think I know these buyers a little bit better. Oh, thank you. So check your ego and just work out.
Yeah. I used to do a lot of improv, and again, if you can get an improv workout group, I highly recommend it. Because basically for 5 years, every Sunday night, we would go to a comedy club and do improvs. And again, it's invaluable time. So when I moved out to LA, I found you couldn't do it in the clubs out here because I didn't know anybody out here. But I found a workout group, an improv workout group, and we paid the money and we rented the theater. And it was with guys like who we were talking about before, Dave Madden, Marvin Kaplan, Al Molinaro, an incredible actor named Stu Nisbet, who you guys don't know, but I know very much, and I love the guy so much. But it's like people like that we were working out with. I was like this young kid who just came out here, and it was just so cool to be working with these guys, a guy named Roy Stewart, who used to be on Gomer Pyle. And
Oh, I know Roy.
You remember Roy?
Corporal Boyle.
Yeah, Corporal Boyle.
Yeah.
Roy would always, whenever Roy was in trouble on stage, no matter what the improv, he would always just go, "I like the cut of your jib. Who are you?" And he would leave the stage. It was great. And I've been doing that for 20 years now. It's just a wonderful thing to do. So that's just something to think about. If you can't afford it, look, you're all these people who got together tonight, okay? You all have each other's phone numbers, or if you don't get them, and once a week, meet at somebody's house and fuck around and do some fun. Everybody's got a goddamn microphone now, you know? So work out with each other.
And just keep in mind that when I was on this side of the class, we didn't have home studios or mics. We just read copy.
Yeah.
We just worked.
Yeah.
I had a little portable Panasonic cassette recorder, but you guys have a smartphone and it can record you. That's all you need.
And people are asking me all the time, well, you know, do you practice, Bill? Do you read out loud every day? Yeah, I audition. I mean, how many auditions you have in a day?
On a slow day?
Slow day.
10.
10. Yeah, me too.
But that's what I do. I'm reading every day because I'm auditioning every day. And also, my agent knows my every move. Because if I don't say I'm getting a haircut for an hour, they think I'm sitting at my home studio waiting for copy. Because throughout the day, I got auditions coming in. And the actors with the home studio who can send it back at a moment's notice are going to get more copy. So,
especially if you're in the promo world.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, my agent, Jeff Jones, told me a story one time that he had this promo guy, and they called him and they said, "Hey, we need this guy to send this now." And Jeff called the guy, he goes, "I'm 10 minutes from home." And they replaced him.
Yeah.
They replaced him because they didn't get it now. So if you want to get into the promo world, live in a cave or stay at home.
promo, radio imaging, that type of stuff where they've got enough actors who can do it now, you're irreplaceable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it used to be a handful of people, but not anymore because of this, because of what's happening right here. For some reason, everybody wants to do this. Hey, that's good. But you got to be better than everybody that's out there, or at least as good as everybody that's out there. Okay, so how do you do that? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. Oh, you were going to give me directions? Oh, okay, what?
No. Actually, I was just going to say being the best at what you do, and it's like being someone who's learning from people like you and Bob. I made a cold call to you 2 years ago, like we talked about in the studio, and looked at your website and saw that you had done a lot of really interesting marketing techniques to get your name out there. And I just want to know, in 2014, have things changed? Is it still okay to like call up Nancy Cartwright and be like, "I'm a big fan, is there anything you can do to help me?" Or is that like crazy person status? How far can you go to just get someone to
If
help
anybody,
you?
he's the crazy person right here. He called Mel Blanc when he was 14
Right,
years old.
and that's what I'm saying. But have things changed since then? Is that just like so weird now, or?
It was weird then.
You know what? Here,
But I didn't know it was weird. You know, I was 14. What do I know?
Right, but I'm 33, so.
Well,
you can get away with it as a kid.
I think I can answer that for you. Because there's this young kid, because of Skype and all the displays that used to be at the Museum of Science and Industry when I was a child, people from around the world call me now to work with me via Skype. And this young kid, Bo Bridgeland, had been Skyping with me, and we did some stuff. Do you guys know? A lot of people know. Billy lived with Bo. But here's my point. Here's my point. This kid lives in a little tiny town in England, okay? And we met at some convention, and he called me, and we Skyped together, and he told me that he was coming out here. And Bob and I were just talking about this. He came out here, and not only did I put together a margarita night and stuff for him so that all the money he spent was worthwhile, but he worked with Rob Paulson. He did a private session with Rob Paulson. He went to all these different coaches and worked with all these different coaches in anime and in we had Charlie Adler here for the margarita night that one night, and then Charlie heard, "Oh, you're here from England? Well, come on over to Nickelodeon and see a session." And then Rob Paulson took him to a session where he ran into you, right?
I think the moral of this story is, these are the people that will succeed. These are the people that are creative. These are the people that think outside the box. And these are the people that take the risks. Now, granted, it's a very innocent kid doing very innocent risks. It's a nice community, our little
It really is.
group of voiceover peeps.
Yeah, and I think if you call somebody and they're not, idiots, they'll probably go, yeah, sure, I'll help. What didn't Don LaFontaine take people on rides?
Oh, yeah, you just get to go in his
You get to
limo.
ride along in his limo.
Yeah.
And he would just go from $5,000 job to $5,000 job all day long in his little limo.
Well, not to steal the show, but I actually don't know. I knew you because I talked to Bob, cold called him.
Sure.
And then I
Right.
found you.
Right.
And now we're buddies.
Yeah,
so
but,
it's like,
but I mean that's the thing. I mean there are a lot of people out there willing to help you out, and again we both have been where you guys are. Okay, he's way above me right now. Okay, I've gotten here and I've stayed kind of here, but my point is it's just one of those things you got to put yourself out there. So I would say a phone call is not going to hurt. All they can do is go, stay away from me, crazy woman.
Yeah, you know what? You know what? Don't be afraid of the word no.
Yeah.
The worst thing they're going to say is no, but also actors, guys, no is a very powerful word. It's okay to say no. That's not enough money. No, I don't want to do that job. No, I don't want to work with that producer. That's okay to say. Because there will always be another job, but don't sacrifice what your game plan is. And you got to have one. You got to have a very specific, strategic game plan. So just making a phone call to the people that you want to work with or the people that you want to get advice from, that's just one step of the billions of other steps you can do for your career to advance it other than just taking classes.
And, you guys have the benefit that we never had, too, of these websites, these casting websites, okay? I've got this young kid that I'm working with right now who, he's better than he was. But when he came to me, he was awful. He was terrible. And he's getting really good. But he's booking all the time on these websites. And it's $100, $200, $500, $300 jobs, okay? And for the first time, he called me up last week, actually, and he said, man, they want me to do this job, but they only want to pay me $300. And I want to turn it down because I think it's worth more than that. And I go, then fucking turn it down, man. He goes, but I feel guilty. I'm like, don't feel guilty.
They don't give a shit.
Yeah, I said, that just means you're getting that much better, dude.
Yeah.
You're that much better now, and eventually you're not going to do any of this shit. You see what I mean? Because again, you have to go through that process. You guys have to go, we did it our way in an entirely different world back, for me it was the early 80s, okay? And again, I was making $25,000 a year, and I had bought a condo for $30,000 in Chicago. That should tell you something right there. I could buy a fucking condo for $30,000. Okay? So, but the cool thing is I was an actor, and that's all I was doing, was acting at $25,000 a year. These days, that might be $100,000 a year. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. But my point is, hey, man, it can be done. And as long as you're happy doing what you're doing, in my opinion, the success will come your way. It will come to you if you're talented, if you put it out there.
And you can't do it for the money.
You can't.
That's the problem right now.
There is no money
everybody's going into voiceover for the money. Where in our day, I really did just say in our day. In our day, you went into acting because you needed to act. You needed to act. It wasn't something that you just did because you want to get that $1 million job. You had to act. And getting up on a Friday evening doing improv was as satisfying as doing a day on a movie. Because you just have to act.
It's interesting. My oldest son does voiceovers. My daughter does voiceovers. My youngest son, not at all. No, he does it too. But my son has gone through various careers in his own right, and now he's in the world of finance mainly because he thinks like his mother. He doesn't think like me, okay? And we just had this conversation about 3 weeks ago. He just looked at me and said, I don't know how you do it, Dad. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how. I need to know when there's money coming in. I have to know when there's money coming in. I have no idea how you raised kids and bought a house and all this shit, not knowing if you had $1 coming in. And he said, how did you do it? And my honest reply to him was like, I don't know. I'm just doing what I like to do. And I've always done this because I've liked to do it. When I was doing theater and comedy and all that shit in Chicago, I was waiting tables and I was driving limos and I was doing everything. I never saw it as, oh my God, I'm a fucking waiter. Oh shit, I'm a limo driver. No, I always saw it as, this is helping me to be an actor. You know what I mean? I always thought of it as part of my acting career. And what you guys got to do is feel good about yourself, you know, take care of yourself financially, and do this, as what Bob is saying, because you have to, because you want to, because you'll die if you don't. If you're doing it for part-time money, you're an idiot.
Please.
You're an idiot.
And don't ever feel like you've made it, because as soon as you feel like you've made it, it's over, because you're not going to commit to your choices. You're not going to have that edge to stay in the game. I was teaching here one night. I did the show called The Looney Tunes Show. I did the pilot, and after I did the pilot, they held auditions for all the characters because they could. I found out that I had to go in and re-audition for the part that I had recorded for the pilot, teaching here. I was in that room waiting to do 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. When my agent called me up and said, "You've got to re-audition for this," and then I shared it with the group because I wanted everybody to know there's no it. You're not going to make it. You're all auditioning. You're all at the same level. So what happened was the guy playing Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, he refused to audition. I got a call from the head of Warner saying, "Would you just go through the motions?" I went, "Yeah, sure. I don't own the character." Then they invited Bugs and Daffy to callbacks, and he refused to go. And they replaced him. Everybody's replaceable. Everybody. Check your ego at the door. Now, I will tell you what I did do at the audition or the callback.
Is this the Tweety thing?
No, that was a different one.
You got to tell that. Sorry.
Okay. At the callback, I asked them if I could paraphrase the copy because I knew I could make the copy sound better because I knew the character. He's referring to for Looney Tunes Back in Action, which I also had to audition for.
He comes to me with this idea. He's like, "Can you cut some music together for me?" And Dave and I, we cut this music together. Yeah, that, and then the pig.
Oh yeah,
the song.
oh that's right.
Yeah.
That's funny. I forgot I did it with you guys.
Oh no, that's funny. Man.
Yeah, they wanted us to come in with a contemporary monologue for the Looney Tunes characters, so I had Tweety do the vagina monologues. And don't ask me why, but I was looking through it, and there's a big monologue in the book of monologues where a lady describes different names.
Just do a little...
Ladies are worried about their vaginas. And what to call them. There's a lady in Greatneck who calls it a putty tat. Her mama used to say, "Now don't wear your panties underneath your pajamas. You need to air out your putty tat."
And I was like, "Well, that's Tweety."
and then the pig.
And then they wanted you to do a song. So, you know, MC Hammer's "You Can't Touch This." So I asked Dave to loop the beginning over and over again. So. And I did that like 10 times, and after a while, Porky's like,
"Hey, can I?" I'm having to do the dun da da da. You believe this bites?
Dun da da da.
Fuck this shit.
Dun da da da. And I got the job.
Well, didn't they? But didn't they though go? Okay, look, you got the job, but. And they had like 4 other people come in and go, "Do it again."
Oh yeah,
do it again.
Well, I got that from that round, but from the vagina monologues, I got that tape doesn't leave the studio. But you know what? I gotta tell you, I actually, Eve Ensler, she wrote the vagina monologues. Thanks to the internet, I wrote her, and I got permission to use that story in my one-man show.
Right.
But I didn't want to do that without getting legal permission. So I emailed her and I said, I'm the voice of Tweety for some Warner Brothers projects, and I'd like to have Tweety do an excerpt from the Vagina Monologues for my one-man show, and I need your permission. And her response to me was, I don't know what you're talking about. So I went into my booth and I did it. And I sent her the MP3 of Tweety doing it, and she emailed me back and she goes, oh my God, that's priceless, and I want to do it on stage and have you do it.
But now let's go back to a couple of things I said in tonight's lessons of he was fucking around. He was playing. He was goofing with them. You know what I mean? And it got him noticed. Things happened because of it. Because he was doing what he knew he could do. He knew the character. He did it because it was fun. And it was the thing to do, right? It was just the thing to do.
And I said this in I think one of my groups. I don't know if I said it in both. You've got to take risks.
Yeah.
If you don't take risks, I would rather take risks and be a failed actor at 75 than be a 75-year-old person with regret that I never tried. I think regret's a lot more horrible to live with than failure. So risk comes in three ways. One of three ways. Creative, financial, or geographic. You got to take a creative risk at that audition. You might have to move to LA because that's where animation is. You might have to pay for more classes or a demo or a website or whatever, but you've got to take risks. And if you don't, that's okay. Your competition will, and they'll get work. It's just like this kid in England. This kid in England took a risk. He started conversations. He took a risk contacting people. And people took a liking because he was doing it in a very charming, you want to help him kind of way. I mean, you really want to make this kid...
Well, you know the other thing about Bo, and his name's Bo Bridgeland, friend him. He's a great kid. But it turned out he was really good. He was really good. And it surprised me because I was expecting this kid to not be good. And then he actually does an impression of my youngest son. And it's dead on. And then I go, do your American accent. And he knocked it out of the park. I was like, holy shit. That was really good, you know?
Too funny.
And the more he did, the more we were like, well, yeah, this kid should be working. He should be working. Yeah, he's green. He needs some work learning the acting skills that he needs. But for the most part, I mean, he comes off as this, very proper British kid.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
So it's lovely to meet you.
Yeah. But then you get him behind a microphone and he kind of transforms into something else. And as an actor, a teacher, and a director, it was really fun for me to watch and fun to be a part of this kid's adventure. Because I'm also in my 50s and I'm like, fuck, I'm going to die soon. Let's go back to the young people, Okay? Well, yeah, 50s. Yeah, careful.
I got 2 more months.
When you hit 50,
March 8th.
You're going to die soon.
Okay, fine.
So, Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Well, you were saying that a lot of the auditions, you're doing it from home now, and just noticing tonight, a lot of these animation ones especially, very physical and very big. We don't have the luxury of having a Gilly or a Geo at home. Do you have any, advice on equipment or what you should do if you don't have the money to do a full-blown studio in your house?
Are you represented?
Yeah.
You say that very hesitant. Do you hate them?
No, but I mean, a lot of them are requiring you to do it at home as well.
Are you talking about regional agents around the country, or do you have somebody in LA?
Well, the regional agents.
Okay, well, you have to have equipment with the regional agents.
Right.
$100 microphone, and if you have a Mac, it comes with a recording program. A closet that is kind of soundproof. The smartphone has a recording app. There
Boom.
You go.
You have a studio. I've got Twisted
Wave.
On
exactly.
I have Twisted Wave on my phone. Yeah, I have Twisted Wave on my phone. I go in the back of my car, blabbity blah blah, boom boom, MP3, zing, pop,
you're not peeking things out. You're not sending in crap. You're not sending.
It's not live. God created Take Two.
Yeah, it's an audition. It's an audition.
And it's good. The quality is good. I didn't believe it, by the way. First time I heard a Twisted Wave on a smartphone, I was at a party. I said, email me that. I went back to my home studio with nice studio quality, speakers, and I listen back. I'm like, holy fucking shit.
And my agent, I won't say his name, but I've said it before, so figure it out. But anyway, he's done these workshops before, and he's like, no, man, don't be sending us shit on your iPhone, because that's bullshit. And I go, oh, you know the one Tyler sent in? That was on the iPhone. And the one he booked the other week? Yeah, that was on the iPhone. And he's like, fuck you, Bill. Stop saying that in front of me.
Well, no, because here...
Because they don't know. They don't know.
Because here's the deal. Also, some people, even with a home studio, it sounds like shit.
It sounds like shit.
And it's quite often, it's not the mic. You can get a $10,000 microphone. But, and David Burgess told me this, if the cords suck between this and this, it's going to sound like shit. The cheapest mic in a great studio will sound better than an expensive mic in a crappy studio. There's so much involved with...
$150 microphone.
I mean, you know, I've got a buddy who, he's got little kids, so he goes into his car in the garage to record on this thing because it's dead, it's quiet. You know, it's a nice space. But the bottom line is, no, you don't have to go out and get a U87 mic to audition. I think for under $500 you've got a recording studio.
Yeah. Because, and here's the thing, if you don't know what to do with all that real expensive equipment, what's the point of having it? You know, if you're going to buy all the expensive shit, hire somebody to show you how to use it. You know? Because, again, I don't know anything about technical equipment. I am an idiot when it comes to that. We hired that guy.
Me too.
I give him half the money because, why? Because I don't have a business.
I don't want to
with
learn
him.
it.
I don't either. I don't either. Who wants to learn that shit? I want to do all the,
for God's sake,
the
people,
creative shit.
Don't get Pro Tools.
No.
This is Pro Tools. Okay, this is Pro Tools. This is the part of Pro Tools you need to do voiceover audition. The rest of it you need if you're a producer.
Yeah.
All right, but for God's sake, don't get
Twisted
Pro
Wave,
Tools.
GarageBand. Learn GarageBand for God's sake.
I have an old... What?
Audacity is free.
Audacity's free. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got an old version of Adobe Audition called Cool Edit. I think I bought it for like $10 used, and it's just very simple. It's cut and paste.
Natalie, did you have your hand up earlier?
No.
Oh, okay.
I actually did again.
Yes,
And
okay.
I was just going to say that I had a friend who was a reporter.
You had a friend?
I did too!
Holy mackerel.
Who
That
would know?
surprises the shit out of me.
I mean,
okay,
was
but go
he a
ahead.
reporter too?
Yeah.
He was a news reporter, and he was a one-man band, and he did his audio stuff and the camera stuff, and he helped me with the EQ, and I was like doing a mic shootout at SAG at the Donald Fontaine Voiceover Lab, and they gave you like 5 different mics. You did a mic shootout. You listened to each one. And then I listened to myself on my blue mic with the EQ levels, and I was like, is it the mic or is it the EQ levels? Which one matters more? Because it almost seemed like it was the levels that really made the sound resonate more than the mic did.
Well, again,
That's a Dave question.
It is kind of a Dave question.
and he would probably have to go to your studio to figure out what the answer would be.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah,
he wouldn't know.
I mean, Dave Burgess is such a wonderful human being in the regard that I have these 2 little boxes in my studio, and Dave has actually taped over the knobs so I can't touch them.
He did that to mine. I have no idea what to do with my studio.
Because again, I'm like a monkey in there. I'm like, Dave told me I could just touch this. Okay, I'll touch this. Okay, so again, I pay for that because it's worth it. Okay. Bob Bergen, ladies and gentlemen.